Howdy Facebook land, I hope you're well. It's just a brief update from me. Well, who knows, it may be brief, it may go on, but I just wanted to fill you in. Quite a few people have said to me, is this your account? Because it was a new Facebook account. Where have you been? What's been happening? I thought you'd unfriended me, stuff like that. I haven't unfriended anyone in that way. What happened was around about 6 months ago, I got blocked out of my account. It said that I was suspended for a period of time or something like that from Facebook, and also from my linked Instagram account at the time, which is my Dunstan Birchinger Instagram account. So what happened was I tried to get back in. They had an old phone number. I just couldn't find a way to get back in. And I also felt a bit like, well, fuck you. You know, if you don't want me on here, if I'm not welcome as I am, I don't really want to be on here. And what happened was very interesting, because I started to notice I had loads more energy. And, you know, I just realized that my Facebook, I had all these pages, I had loads of content on there. And the really interesting thing is that if you ever experience this, until you experience it, you can't really imagine it. But basically all of your contacts, all my contacts gone, all of my, you know, different connections with people, different conversations with people, different videos that I'd made in different communities, things like this that I'd shared to my timeline, just gone, deleted. People searching for me couldn't find me. So it's a really interesting thing. And what was great was I had loads more energy. And I was just I've just been getting on with hanging out with the people that I'm connecting with them in person, and not getting at all distracted by any of that. But I've come back on in a different way. You know, and I'm curious to know what other people's... I think quite a few people are leaving Facebook at the moment. It's become quite an openly censorious platform, under the guise of, you know, fact-checking, preventing the spread of dangerous information, stuff like that. But, you know, information is being censored. And also, you know, people are being... I mean, I wasn't exactly thrown off Facebook. What happened was I finally managed to... I kept ringing my old phone number, and it had been recycled. So it was an old number. Check this out, right? So when I was in Australia, I had this phone number, and that was connected to my Facebook. So they need to send you the verification code to get back on. So, but the person that had the number wouldn't reply to my text messages, but their phone would ring. So one day I finally got through to some guy, some Aussie bloke, and I said, look, this is my old phone number. Can you help me to get my access back again? Please help me. And he was like, oh no, I don't know how to do that. And I said, look, it's really easy. It's a little number that comes up on your screen. Please help me. And he's like, oh no, sorry. He didn't say sorry, so I've got no time for that. I'm a full-time carer. I've got to go. And he hung up the phone on me. And I'm like, damn. So, you know, I just jumped back a little in the story, but that was a good sign for me that it was just like, I'm like, okay, don't fight. Like, this is the universe saying, get off of Facebook. You know, you're not supposed to be on Facebook. So, you know, letting go of that. And, you know, there's probably, I've got about 150 friends now, whereas I used to have about 2,500. And I know there'll be some really good contacts in amongst that lot. So I remember when I first joined Facebook, every time I made a friend on Facebook, I would copy their profile URL into my digital address book. You know, it was like collecting a phone number. I was collecting their Facebook profile. And, you know, I originally used to have all my contacts in a spreadsheet because I just wanted to be in control of it. And then I you know, keep them on the Mac with Address Book app, which most of the time works pretty well. And what was interesting was that, you know, but then I just stopped after a while. I stopped doing that. Most of the people I'm really close to, I have their phone numbers, but I was just trusting Facebook Messenger to communicate. Now we know that, you know, Facebook Messenger and Google and things are not private. So you know, if you want to have a private conversation with someone, same with WhatsApp, which is now owned by Facebook, you know, so they're great communication tools. Facebook call quality is very high. I use that for video calls, but we're outsourcing, you know, I outsourced Facebook to look after my precious contacts, you know? So there's like over 2,000 people that I have no way of getting in touch with them unless Facebook recommends them to me again. So, you know, I think this is how it's going in the future, is if you know, most of the time it works fine, but who's to know when, you know, if you might say something that offends someone, they report you. Who knows how it works? I don't know if any of you lot have ever had anything you've posted been fact checked, this sort of way of trying to say this isn't, you know, whatever. But I don't know if that's happened to you. And the cool thing is, hey Paul, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Over in Cambridge, I was speaking to another friend over that way today. So yeah, how's Facebook for you, man, Paul? Paul's an old friend from the rowing days back in Cambridge, and a good guy. So always we had a good relationship. And you know, there's an example of someone that, like, you know, if and when I get thrown off again, I don't know. I don't have your number, Paul. You know, I was just talking about this thing of like how we trust Facebook to look after all our contacts. Which is fine, you know, it's fine. You know, we do what we do, but I just want people to be aware of that. So all content that you put up on Facebook, not only is it their property, but they can choose any time, and that's their right to choose. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm not fighting it. I'm not supporting it. It just is what it is. And, you know, you say something that upsets someone. You know, I know when the thing happened first in the summer, I know that Jeff Dale got pretty stirred up with me and was saying I was a crazy conspiracy theorist or whatever, and, you know, got a bit upset with me. So I don't know, but all it takes is for someone to get upset and then, you know, report you, and it's like, and then you get blocked or deleted, whatever, you know. So the point of the story is two things. One, I'm taking back control of my own contacts. So, you know, I've got people's numbers, I can call them, and I'm actually finding it really fun just to talk with people and one-on-one. You know, the whole world doesn't have to know everything about me, and it's yeah. So I'm starting to use Facebook in a really different way. I'm not sharing a whole load of memes and other people's stuff. I figure out by this time and what's happening, like, most people are fairly fixed in their viewpoint of what's going on. I think most people feel like most people are critical of something. They kind of think something's maybe not quite right. But, you know, it's like, you know, they say, hey Ed, hi. You know, what they say is, they say, don't try to change people. You don't change people's minds. You go out and you find the others. Now, my commitment is, you know, I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but I think we're in very strange times right now. And whether it's an evil mastermind, I don't want to go into all of that, but I didn't want to give it my focus, because my job is to live my life. And, you know, I'm very clear where I stand around, like, vaccinations and compulsory data tracking and, you know, government being able to control where you can and can't go, and can you go out of your house, and should your medical records be, all this stuff. I'm really clear on where I stand with all of it. There's some other very strange things going on around sexuality at the moment as well, but I don't put that out there as a message, because I figure most people, you know, if you want any information on any of that stuff, or you want to know my personal opinion, just ask me and I'm really happy to share that. But I'm full-time focused on having the best year of my life and opening the doors to other people who want to do the same thing, and coming back on with a fresh profile on Facebook. I'm not here because I want to, you know, there's a few people it's nice to stay in touch with, but I'm doing that with wearing my hat of, hey, I'm here to have the best year of my life. And, you know, if you're here as well, chances are something of that resonates with you, or you're a friend and you want to keep track with what I'm doing. And so, but I'm actually realizing that to really serve my community, I need a different platform. I need to be somewhere else. And so I've got some news on its way where I'm setting up something which is a subscription community, a subscription-based community. And I feel this thing where, there's been this big push to put things out into the collective. This has been the whole internet revolution. It's basically free to publish. I can publish to my contacts. If they want to share it, they can. I can put things on YouTube. I can write out a newsletter, and that can go out publicly. But, if I publish something online, but I'm actually feeling like I don't want to talk to everyone. Yeah, I don't want to talk to the world. My message is not for the world right now. My message is for the people that are the right people who I can be in service to. My message is for people that want to be living the best year of their life. I wrote a little mission statement, and it's like, what is best year of my life about? Well, to live a magnificent and inspired life, full of dignity and purpose. When adversity is fuel, life is a daring adventure. So for me, it's about, circumstances suck sometimes, but are you going to be a warrior or are you going to be a worrier? Because a warrior, when you're all in with the fight, you're all in standing up for who you are and what's true for you. It doesn't matter if you fucking lose or win, because you're in the fight. When I saw Mike Tyson, he was talking about how many times he got knocked down, and it wasn't even about getting back up again. It was about being in the fight, so he had stories to tell. Man, did he have stories to tell, listening to Mike Tyson talking about, his life and trying to getting himself on the straight and narrow and wanting to do something to be in service. And that's what I want to do. I want to be for the people who want to be in service to me. So I'm working on a little something here. I might have said something it didn't quite land quite right, those words, but I want to be in service. I want to share my stuff with the people that give a shit and that care. And I'm realizing that when things are free, they're not fully valued. So I'll still have a profile on here, but I want to share more personally with people that find that inspiring. And so I'm going to try out this community. It seems like a lot of new communities are springing up. I'm on MeWe. If you know MeWe, which is a non-censoring sort of Facebook equivalent thing. There's a few human design people over on there. But I'm looking into this platform called locals.com. So I'm checking that out. It's something created by a guy called Dave Rubin, who's a guy who's got who publishes stuff. He's got a video blog over in the States. And he set it up to enable that, and I follow Bridget Fettersy on there, who's very entertaining, and it's cool because you sort of have, like, when you know someone who's like a celebrity, or you meet someone, you think, wow, they've written that book, they'll be really interesting, and then you follow them on Facebook, but you don't really have a personal relationship with them. Whereas this is more about having a direct one-to-one personal relationship with someone that you're interested in following, and so you post things, she reads what I've posted on there. So that's pretty cool that for a few dollars, like I think I paid £7 a month to join hers to try it out. So for a few quid a month, you can actually connect into that community. She has Zoom calls, that kind of thing. So if you haven't, if anyone wants any links to any of this stuff, I can send it to you. Bridget Fettersy is very funny. What have I been up to? I've been using this time to work on my boats and do loads of DIY things, catch up on loads of DIY things on 4 different boats. And I'm also immersing myself in the culture. And I'm just absorbing all sorts of different perspectives of people sharing some of the things that are going on, and just listening to loads of YouTube videos from a wide range of different publishers, some mainstream, some less so. I've been listening to some of the talk radio stuff, trigonometry. There's Matthew Cox, who's a con man from the States, who did time in prison. Was on the FBI's most wanted list. There's all these different podcasts that are good to listen to, and are nourishing. And there's no one that I totally agree with everything they do, and different ones are good for different things. But yeah, it's good to be able to immerse yourself in that culture. So, anyways, I hope you're all good. What would you like to know? Best year of my life. I've been, putting some structures in place. That's what my January is about. Today, if you're into human design, human design section, it's the Rave New Year. So today is the day when the sun moves back round to the start of the wheel. And so now is officially the Rave New Year. Pretty much right about now, actually, some minutes past 8 p.m. thereabouts. So yeah, Happy New Year. And I hope you have the best year of your life. For some people, it sort of either is or it isn't. It just sort of happens. For me, I choose it that way. And like I said, I'm going to read that again. My mission is to live a magnificent and inspired life with dignity and purpose. And just to take that adversity and turn it into fuel and make that mean I have a good adventure. And yeah, my mission for this year is just to swim in the river of life. And, right now I'm in the boat and we had a monstrous storm, floods. I can hear the water bubbling its way past the boat. It's all very exciting. I'm tied on securely. I've adjusted the ropes. And actually an interesting thing, like I adjusted the ropes on my other boat and it was nearly sinking. It had been pulled down at the front from where it was tied on. It was too tight. And the battery had run out, so the bilge pump wasn't working. So there was some water in the front of the boat, which I've now sorted out. But here's the thing. A rope is like, it's a connection to something solid, right? So what do you tie in life? What do you tie your ropes onto? What do you tether yourself to? This, for me, these are your principles. Now, there's some sort of people or principles or values that when they get wobbled, they come loose and they come undone. When it's a strong current like right now, if you have a loose fixing tied to something flimsy, either on the boat, on yourself or on the land, that can get torn off, that can get bent, that can get twisted around because the current is so strong. So to hold position in the current, you've got to tie yourself onto the right things. Tether yourself to the right values. Be grounded in the correct principles for you. And so the other really interesting thing is that when the water levels come up, if you've tied your ropes correctly, no problem. But if you tie onto something too low down and the water comes up, it can be a hazard. It can be pulling you down. So what is it in life? This is a perfect time to look at what do you tether yourself to in life? Like, what are your fixed sort of anchor beliefs or values in life that you anchor yourself to? And, how do you fare? Like a storm, a flood is a great test. The water's come up by a meter. It's flowing faster than I've ever known it to flow. So what do you tether yourself to? And, notice if you're tethered to the wrong things, it can be limiting. If you're tethered to the right things, it can be very good. And you need to be tethered to something else. The storm comes and you get swept off down the river, or something gets ripped off of you and you're back out in the current at the mercy of the crazy current. So I just thought of that metaphor. So yeah, like when you tie the ropes on from a boat, you attach yourself to the land. So and this is the thing, like if you're watching this and you think, what the fuck is he babbling on about? This is probably why I need to go and do this more in private, because it's not for everyone, but I just want to be able to speak what's on my heart and be heard by the people that want to hear it or need to hear it or like to hear it. So I'm going to sign off right there, sending whole loads of love, and I'll catch you soon. And I'm always open to individual connection if anyone wants to connect, and if anyone wants to talk about what's happening in this crazy period. All right, that's it. Love ya. Ciao.